Hi everybody. What we're going to do today, I'm just going to show you a few really nice little tricks with watercolor, things that are really easy, and hopefully this starts to get you involved a little bit in watercolor. I've find that a lot of people are afraid of it, and there's no real reason to be. It's just getting used to the water, not wanting to be so much in control, just to be loose and free and just see what you can actually create. So I'm going to be concentrating on poppies. I find poppies a very easy flower to do, and that don't take a lot of that don't take a lot of thinking about. Just some very basic colors. What I'm using today is I'm going to be using the Color Brilliance, some of my favorite watercolors, because they're so intense, and yeah, you get good value for money as well. Now what we're going to do is use a wet on wet technique. I'm going to use a couple of different reds. I'm going to use a warm red and a cool red. Now remember, this is wet on wet. So this is wet on wet. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I've just at this moment I've only got the paper flat. I usually tell people to put the paper on an angle, but with this we don't really need it because we want the paint to be dispersing pretty much evenly backwards and forwards. I'm going to start with my warm red, similar to a cadmium red. And what I've done first is I've actually just made a wet patch the shape of a flower. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop some pigment into the wet patch. Okay, into the wet area, and see how it actually just spreads naturally, and we can, you know, make the edges look a bit more organic. Don't be too, what would you say, don't be too tight. Doesn't have to be perfect, because that's the thing with watercolor. It's not really supposed to be perfect. You don't need it perfect. Okay, because you find that all the perfections are what make it wonderful. Okay, and once I've got my warm red down, I'm going to put my cool red. And the cool red would be considered your alizarin crimson. And I'm going to pop a bit of that in there. Maybe just pretend the light's coming from above, from the right, and we'll put our cool reds down here. Okay, below left. I'm going to actually put a little bit of warm red too to mix in with a bit of the cool red. I'll just make the edges just a little bit more organic. Okay. So poppies have a dark center. Now I know nothing about flowers, but that's one thing I do know because my students have actually told me enough or shown me. And just to finish it off, right in the middle, I'm just going to put black. And everything's still wet. Yeah, pop that in there. There we go. That's a little bit of a poppy shape. While it's still wet, what I can do is just, what would you say, maybe just add to the shape a little bit, maybe drag a little bit of this down. Okay. Something else I like to do as well, okay, I like to do the stems while everything's still wet, and I'm going to work from down to up. So we can, this is just a sap green. And I can just thicken that a little bit. Okay, we've got a poppy. I'll do another one. Now look, because of my not so vast knowledge of poppies and stuff like this, what would you say? I'm going to, let's just have a little go at leaves, I reckon. Okay, well I can do a blue flower. Oh, let's do a blue flower. Or green, blue. Oh, let's use our violets anyway. So I'm going to start off and do another poppy through here. Okay. Might have it facing a different direction. And the colors I'm going to pick are a cool, I'm going to use our cool red this time. Now sometimes the shadow colour of a cool red, and look how that takes off. That's awesome. So I've just made the shape of the poppy, okay, with the water, and I've just dropped in our alizarin. I'll throw in a bit of violet. Violet is a great shadow colour for alizarin. I'll put in a little bit more alizarin there just to mix it up with the violet. And the black spot we're going to take down here this time. Okay. And of course I'm going to do the green stem. Okay. And before we go, how about we do one leaf? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. What we'll do is we'll do the leaf in the shape, okay, with the water. Do a leaf shape with the water. I'm going to start with a lightish green. Okay, working from light to dark. And while the water is still wet and still shiny, I can actually throw in a dark green, like a bit of a sap green, if I want. And just to top it off, we're going to use a cool green, which is usually a viridian-y type of green. There we go. And that is just, yeah, dare I say it, really pretty, and just has a great effect. So that's another one. That's another one for this week, and so you can play around with that. This is the wet on wet technique, and yeah, have a go. See you later.